Trump has been pretty ridiculous these past few days. One minute, he was issuing an ultimatum. The next minute, he was basically slapping himself in the face. His side, talks were going great. Iran's side, he was basically talking to himself. But I don't just want to laugh at him today. What I really want people to watch is this. Why is the US suddenly so eager to talk? Does Washington really want a ceasefire? Or is it trying to use talks to buy more time for itself and Israel? Trump has handed Iran a life or death choice. So if you were Iran, what would you do? Last Saturday, Trump gave Iran an ultimatum. Open the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours. Or the US will hit Iran's biggest power plant. That was basically the same as telling Iran, will you hide or prepare to die? Iran's answer was just one sentence. If we die, we die together. After that, Iran's military, the Revolutionary Guard, the Speaker of Parliament, the President, and the Foreign Ministry all came out one after another. The message was simple. If you bomb our power plant, we will raise the cost until nobody can handle it. In short, 5 words. We all go down together. But before the 48 hours were even up, Trump changed his tone. His side, talks were going well, so the strike would be delayed for 5 days. Iran immediately denied it and said there had been no talks at all. That tells you something important. For the weaker side, the hardest weapon is often not missiles. It is the will to make the other side fear the cost too. Iran goes through its most dangerous moment by refusing to blink. But the hardest part is not what just happened. The hardest part is what comes next. Trump may be rushing to talk now, not because he suddenly loved peace, but because this war is no longer as easy as he thought it would be. He can no longer just hit once, declare the victory, and walk away. And the bigger problem is this. A lot of countries will also want Iran to talk now. On one side, the US wants a way out, so it pushed other countries to step in as middlemen. On the other side, many of these countries don't want to keep paying the price for America's war. Once oil prices go up, shipping gets hit. Inflation gets worse, markets get nervous, and everybody feels it. So these countries are doing 2 things at once. They are passing a message for Washington, and they are also trying to limit damage for themselves. That is why they all want Iran to negotiate. If Iran refuses to talk at all, it will look more and more isolated. But if it talks the wrong way, what it gives away is not just face. It gives away initiative. So the real question is not whether to talk. The real question is how to talk. Here, I want to bring up 3 moments from history. First, the Korean War. That war ran from October 1950 to July 1953. But armistice talk had already started on July 10, 1951. In other words, for more than 2 years, they were fighting and negotiating at the same time. That tells us negotiation itself is not the problem. The real question is what you bring to the table. Are you negotiating from battlefield results, or are you negotiating from illusions? Second, the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. At the beginning, Israel was under heavy pressure and in real danger. But the first ceasefire began on June 11, 1948, and it was supposed to last 28 days. And those 28 days were exactly the problem. During the pause, Israel got time to breathe, resupply, reorganize. Once the ceasefire ended, the situation turned around fast. So sometimes a ceasefire is not peace at all. Sometimes it is just putting the side that was almost out of breath back on oxygen. Third, the 1973 war. On October 22, the United Nations called for a ceasefire, but after that ceasefire, large-scale US support for Israel didn't stop. During those 32 days, the US carried out 567 airlift missions and sent more than 22,395 tons of supplies. During that period, Nixon said something famous: send everything that can fly to Israel. That is what the US was doing during the ceasefire. And that ceasefire is exactly what helped the side that was struggling get back on its feet and turn the situation around. So, when you put these three examples together, the conclusion is pretty clear. For more than 70 years, ceasefire has been something the US and Israel keeping using when things are not going well on the battlefield. A ceasefire becomes a way to stay alive. And today, one of the terms being pushed again is a 1-month ceasefire. So think about it. If Iran accepts a ceasefire right now and gives the most valuable thing, time, back to the US and Israel, what do you think happens next? This is Wei. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in America, Israel, and Iran war, watch my last videos. Like this. Goodbye. See you next week.